Hi guys, assalamu alaikum, ji ayanum, pakhair ragale, ni hao, tuna shumme, washmale, ohai, gonzaimes, guten morgen, hola, bonjour, privyet, kaifa hal, hale shamachatore, alam asalan marhaba, buna, mucho, gracias, suaviam, and a very amazing good morning to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and are watching World this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I definitely hope and pray that everybody out there is doing great and are in great health. But today, ladies and gentlemen, is a very different day, and I think that I'm actually going to take advantage of this opportunity because today, ladies and gentlemen, we've actually been joined by a very highly esteemed guest as well. And without any further ado, I think that the first thing I'm going to do is introduce them to you as well. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever we speak about cross-culture promotions, I think that all the embassies over here in Pakistan are doing a great job. And I think that the Pakistan's embassy in the rest of the world are doing a great job as well. And it should be likewise. But other than that, there are definitely similarities in between cultures, and there are definitely other key partners who actually help you to emerge as a global economy, and not just the economy, but I think that there are other things which we can share, especially culture. So ladies and gentlemen, today, I'm very glad that we've actually been joined by the Danish ambassador over in Pakistan. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, His Excellency Rolf Hombo. Hi, how are you? It's so good to have you back.
Thank you. Come on.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And it's wonderful to have you. So just to get the conversation started, I actually wanted to know what the Danish embassy's efforts over here in Pakistan as in to promote our economy and culture as well. So what's the Danish embassy up to these days?
Well, let's start with the economy first, because that's very important. Clearly, I mean, Pakistan has a crisis. It's slowly emerging out of this crisis.
Exactly.
And we are trying to build business-to-business contacts.
Okay.
Because one of the sort of weak points of the Pakistani economy is actually accessing export markets.
Exactly.
Exports are low. So what we can do is to get a Pakistani company and link it up to a Danish company.
Yeah.
And the Danish company can help the Pakistani company in accessing the global export markets, because we are a small nation but a very big exporter.
Exactly.
And so we have the contacts already, and they're already established, and the partnerships and the links and distribution networks are already there. And we have some very good examples of how this works, and it works just beautifully.
Well, that's
which
great.
is the good thing.
But I think that my audience would actually love to know if you can share a few examples as well, so just to give them an idea of how things are.
I can give you a very good example, because one of the first corporations that actually started was a small Danish company called Select.
Yep.
And it was founded by the guy who invented the in-zone football. Wow. You remember, a football, it has octagonals.
Yes.
And in the old days, the last one would be shown on the outside.
Yep. So this is
and when you were heading and doing things, you were having a lot of injuries. So he invented the way you sew it from the inside.
Yep.
And he entered into a cooperation with Qawali Industries in Sialkot 46 years ago.
Wow.
And they married in the sense that they would only work with each other.
Wow.
And they've done so ever since. And now we take more than 5 million of the best quality footballs in the entire world from Pakistan.
Exactly, and that's great too as well, where, ladies and gentlemen, I think that just to add to this information, Pakistan has been producing footballs for FIFA too as well, with their official partner as well. But other than that, so what other areas are you investing in over here in Pakistan, even though keeping in mind that we have got a new regime, a newer setup in the government? So what kind of vision do you have related to investments over here in Pakistan?
Well, the vision basically is that we want to be a partner with Pakistan in meeting the challenges of climate change.
Yes.
What is known as green transition. I mean, that you take the economy, that you take the way cities work and turn it into a sustainable way.
Yep.
And it's a big priority for us. We also are, the global leader in many areas, and we have solutions that could be relevant for Pakistan.
Wow.
In many areas, waste to energy. I mean, in the middle of Copenhagen, we now built this waste to energy plant. It takes 500,000 tons of waste and burns off, and they can do it in the middle of Copenhagen because the toxic emission coming out of it is the equivalent of 50 cars running for 1 hour. That's a year of emissions.
Yeah.
So that's why they could put it in the middle of Copenhagen and put 3 ski slopes on top of it.
Wow.
So you can actually ski down it.
And it's great, and it's a great idea. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, that world definitely becomes a better place when you join hands with partners. And it's great to actually hear it from the Danish ambassador over here that, you know, we're definitely looking Pakistan. We're definitely taking a glance at Pakistan as key partners as well. And when we speak about climate change, I think it's one of the sustainable development goals. But I think that the foremost important thing over here is to spread awareness about climate change. And I know that we're weak in this area, and then there are countries where they've actually made sure that the students are actually going to learn about climate change, and it's there in their syllabus now as well.
Yeah.
So do you think that you'll be of any help to Pakistanis where we really need to spread awareness about climate change?
No, I think so. Now the government is coming out shortly with a new renewable energy policy.
Yes.
And Denmark is the world's leading in the wind turbines.
Exactly.
We're not so strong in solar for a very good reason.
wind turbines.
We don't have that much
Yeah.
sun. But in wind turbines, we're very strong. And this new policy is coming out, and it will be a major change of the way the energy sector in Pakistan is.
Yep.
And the good thing about wind and solar is that the cost is so much lower than oil, coal, and gas, down to a third.
Wow.
Of the cost of oil, coal, and gas. So it's a big difference for Pakistanis, and we can partner Pakistan there. You know, we have Vestas, which is a global, the global wind turbine leader.
Yes.
More than 17% of the global. They're very, new and innovative in their way of doing it, and they're interested in coming to Pakistan. Other companies, also from all over the world, are interested to come to Pakistan to help Pakistan with these challenges and take down the cost of energy in Pakistan for everybody. Also, through that, help make the Pakistani economy more competitive, which is so important. And so, in many energy efficiency, there's many areas where we can be a partner to Pakistan and helping Pakistan economy and taking down the cost of your living.
Yeah, and I think that'll be great too as well, because the electricity bills, ladies and gentlemen, are definitely up on the roof these days as well. But other than that, there's one more core competency which is related to Danish people, and that is healthcare. And are you investing in different healthcare segments as well over here in Pakistan?
We are, because Pakistan, like any country, has problems, and we share some of those.
Yep.
So we have a company called Novo Nordisk, which is the world leading in diabetes care.
Yep.
And they're very active in Pakistan in the prevention of diabetes.
Yes.
And they're engaging in KP. They just launched a mobile clinic in KP. They will launch a mobile clinic in Punjab as well.
Yep.
And that is basically because if you're diagnosed with diabetes early, you don't get all these follow-on diseases.
Exactly.
And you may not even have to take medicine. You may be able to handle it with a little more healthy living, a little more exercise, and a little more healthy food.
Yeah.
And if you do those two things, you can actually avoid diabetes to quite a great extent. We have a company like Lundbeck, working, on depression, which is a disease we're just not celebrating, but the Mental Health Day was on suicide this year. And, 90% of people that go for suicide, they have depression issues.
Yes.
So that is also a very important area to handle. And then you have a company called Pharmacosmos, which is stunting, which is a priority of His Excellency, the Prime Minister.
Yes.
And that company can do something easily and cheap for avoiding stunting in children.
And that'll be great.
Yeah, so we're trying to do this.
Yeah, exactly. And where His Excellency actually mentioned about depression, I think that for me, a solution to depression is music. And we're very lucky that we've actually been joined by a Danish band over here with the name of Qawali, which is a fusion of rock music and Qawali, where Mr. Ejaz Sher Ali, who's actually from a very renowned family over here in Pakistan. And then there are different band members from Denmark, ladies and gentlemen. They're here. They'll be a part of our show in the next segment. But very quickly, what do you have to say about them?
I think it's a great band. And we've had them down here before, and we have taken them out to universities. We had them in Islamabad for the Coke Fest, and we had them
I kind of got that done, yeah. It's all right. I know that.
And we've had them around many places, and they are a blast every time. So young people really like them. And now it was 2 years we had them. Now we have them again, and basically now they've done some new music, which I find is absolutely excellent. And I hope we will have a time and the opportunity to hear it.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for being with us and taking our time. And we definitely look forward to a very conducive partnership with Denmark too as well. But ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere, because when we come back after a small break, we'll have the Danish band over here with us with the name Qawali. Let's do that. Let's go for a break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. For everybody who just got tuned into PTV World, you watching World this morning alongside Shazad Khan. Ladies and gentlemen, before going towards the break or before heading out towards the break, we were in conversation with the Danish ambassador, and I think that it was so good to be in conversation with a person like him. He was very kind and he was very generous, and he definitely spoke about what Danish embassy is doing over here in Pakistan. But then at the same time, towards the end of that segment, we kind of made sure to talk about music too as well. But ladies and gentlemen, now whenever we speak about music, everybody knows that music has no language. You know, it is surreal for some and it gives energy to some people as well. But other than that, I think whenever over here in Pakistan we speak about music, I think Qawali is one of those genres which we really need to emphasize on, because it's a part of our culture and it has been a part of our culture for the longest period of time, even when Pakistan wasn't, Pakistan never even came into being by that time. You know, so we kind of have roots from the subcontinent when we talk about Qawali, but other than that, over in Pakistan, we have seen Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan Sahab as well, and now Rahat Fateh Ali Khan Sahab doing wonders with Qawali. But now, ladies and gentlemen, when I speak about music, I think that we really need to introduce Qawali to all of those people with newer trends and newer musicians, or probably rock music altogether. So imagine that if there's rock music and if there's Qawali, what do you think about it? I think that it's a fabulous idea. Just before going towards the break, we even mentioned you about rock Qawali as well. So ladies and gentlemen, we're very lucky that we've actually been joined by rock Qawali over here in our studios in Islamabad at PTV World. And ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I would like to present to you Rock Qawali, all the way from Denmark. Hello guys, how are you? Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much for joining us. It's wonderful to have you. So I would definitely love to take the names, ladies and gentlemen. Ejaz Sher Ali Saab is from Pakistan and he's got a musical background. He belongs to a family of Qawwals. He's a Qawwal, he's an harmonium player, and he's a great gentleman. He keeps on producing some great music. And this is the second time, ladies and gentlemen, that Rock Qawali has actually taken our time and they are here over here in the studios with us. But I'm going to start from there, ladies and gentlemen. First up, we have Jonas with us. Hi, Jonas. How are you?
Hey, I'm fine, thank you.
How is it to be back in Pakistan?
It's great. It's good to see you again.
Thank you very much. Same here, likewise. And alongside Jonas, ladies and gentlemen, we've actually been joined by somebody who's my Facebook buddy as well, and we kind of like each other's posts as well. He's none other than Mr. Tin Saheli. Hi, Tin. How are you?
How are you? Thank you.
Absolutely perfect. Thank you very much for joining us. It's wonderful to have you. And you haven't aged since the time you were here last. I don't think that you're aging. I think that you're getting younger again.
You're fine. Practicing likewise.
Thank you very much for that as well. And alongside Tin, ladies and gentlemen, we're very lucky that we've actually been joined by Stephen as well. He's the drummer of the band. Hi, Stephen. How's it to be back in Pakistan?
It's wonderful. I love it.
You love it?
Yeah, we really like it here.
Well, that's great. Yeah. And it's wonderful to have you. It's likewise. And ladies and gentlemen, last but not the least, we've actually been joined by somebody. It's his first time over here in Pakistan and in Islamabad as well. And I don't know why, but I think that this is a question which I'm going to ask him. Ladies and gentlemen, he's none other than Mr. Henrik. Hi, Henrik. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Thank you very much. How is it to be in Pakistan?
It's lovely, you know, lovely people and everything, so...
It's your first time in Pakistan, I believe,
yeah.
right?
Very first time.
And just before we got started with the show, ladies and gentlemen, I could hear Ejaz calling Henrik Baba. I don't know why, but this is why that I'm actually going to ask them, why did you call him Baba? Why would you call him Baba? Why? He's not that old, he's young.
But I feel it's our culture. So कोई भी हमसे बड़ा है हम उसको respect करते हैं उनको बाबा बोलते हैं.
Exactly.
So this is I'm just there. I'm respect to all.
I think that's great. So this is their way. This is Mr. Ejaz's way to share respect with all of the band members as well. But Ejaz bhai, आपसे मेरा सवाल ये है कि last time आप आए तब आप लोगों ने एक album release की. अब आप लोग तीसरी album के ऊपर काम कर रहे हैं और मुझे ये भी देखकर बहुत अच्छा लगता है कि आप लोगों ने इकट्ठे ही काम किया है, अगली के ऊपर भी काम कर रहे हैं, अभी एक म्यूजिक वीडियो भी रिलीज किया है. तो कुछ बताएं ज़रा हल्का सा कि पिछले साल जब आप आए थे और इस साल में कितना काम और कर चुके हैं और आगे क्या चीज़ें हमें सुनने को मिलेंगी.
इंशाल्लाह जी हम तकरीबन 2 एल्बम जो है वो प्रोड्यूस कर चुके हैं ऑलरेडी. तो एक एल्बम वो भी तकरीबन डन हो चुका है, बन गया, उसकी मास्टरिंग भी हो चुकी है. वेरी सून जो है नेक्स्ट ईयर बिगनिंग में ही हम उसको रिलीज़ करने जा रहे हैं. बहुत खूबसूरत म्यूज़िक है और उसमें हमने लिरिक्स पे और बहुत सारी अच्छी पोइट्री जो हमने चूज़ की, उसकी कंपोजिशन में बहुत काम हुआ है, उस पर उसके म्यूज़िक पे बड़ा काम हुआ है.
सही.
तो साउंड बहुत अच्छा है, उसको आपको सुनेंगे तो enjoy करेंगे.
I think that's great. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that it's a good news for everybody who's out there because Rock Qawali is actually going to be coming up with their third album, and the second album, I heard it all, and it's still with me in my car, and I kind of keep on listening to that as well. Farida Turiya Jai is one of the hits which they have produced as well. But there's this one question which always comes across my head, and that is that for all of these amazing people who've actually traveled from Denmark to Pakistan, why even, why would they want to actually kind of have a fusion in between Qawali and rock music? I think this is something which I would definitely want to ask from Tin. So Tin, why Qawali and rock music being fused together?
Well, the original idea was by the two gentlemen standing beside me,
Wow.
Stefan and Jonas, and they knew the jazz very well.
Yeah.
And we all have some kind of a linkage to this type of genre.
All right.
And we always have enjoyed listening to it. And because having a rock background, all of us, it was just a natural step.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then I think that this is a question for Stephen now. Stephen, how did you get to know Ajaz?
I got to know him because I got to know Jonas by. So we were working on a Bollywood play I did,
Okay.
and Jonas told me he was half Pakistani and had very good music contacts in Pakistan, and he had known Ijaz and his family for a long time.
Yeah.
So I said, why don't we try get together with Ijaz and make this combination of Qawali and rock and roll? Because I've been a fan for Qawali for 25 years.
Yeah.
And Jonas obviously also has.
But that's great. But who did you listen to for the last 25 years, if you speak about Qawali?
Well,
Can you mention a few names?
Nusrat, of course.
Yeah.
Abida Parveen.
Yes, Abda
And
Parveen.
also, and then I got to know Millie Shirley. I became a big fan. They're very good.
I think that's great. So which is why I'm going to jump over to Jonas. So Jonas, first of all, I never knew that you were half Pakistani. Congratulations.
But we've met many times before, couldn't
I
you?
know. But you don't look Pakistani. That's
That's
the
an
thing.
insult.
No, that's not an insult, and I would never want to do that to one of my guests as well. But was Ajaz your only pick, or you had other options in your head too? I'm sorry that I'm asking this question. Yeah. Go ahead.
It happened so that I came to Pakistan to see my family for the first time, and so on the side I'm a musician, and I'm always propelled towards other people who make music, and I was lucky when I reached here. I was lucky to meet some of the greatest artists that is around here, and a friend told me the best Qawwals active today is Mirali Shirley. You have to go and see them.
Yeah.
So then I went there and I met Ijaz's father and his uncle, and immediately it was a connection, and I'm part of the family.
And now you guys are doing it,
So
and you guys are doing it for the
this is my
longest period of
brother,
time.
yeah.
Well, that's great. Henrik, what about you? How did you
We
become
have
a member of the band?
I met Stefan 3 months ago,
Yeah.
and I never.
What were
met-
you doing? Okay,
We
this is
made.
something which I
We
need to
played
know.
in a theater
Okay.
together back in Denmark.
Wow.
I
And that's
met-
how you met?
Yeah, that's how we met. So only for a couple of months. Jonas I met once. Tim I never met. Ijaz I never met.
All right.
So we met on the plane actually. So it's a little crazy.
So did you guys jam while you were in the plane? on the
No, actually we just went on a really big TV show.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah,
I-
1, 2, 3, 4.
And you all gel together. Well, it's great to have you guys over here in Pakistan, and I love your music too as well. Which is why, ladies and gentlemen, first things first, what I'm going to do is that they recently released a song, and it's a beautiful song, Mandiya Ye Changiya. I actually want to share that video and music with you guys first, and then when you guys will come back, we'll put them to a test. Let's take a look. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, I'm lucky enough to be in their video too, and I never knew that. But and it looks fabulous, and I think that they've shot the video as if that they're getting nostalgic by themselves even now when we play it. And I think that it's a beautiful song, and you guys have done a great job with music always, Jaz bhai, even you. But मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहता हूँ कि जितने अरसे से भी आप इस पूरे बैंड के साथ हैं, आप ऑब्वियसली अपनी प्रोडक्शंस भी अलग से करते हैं, आपने कितना कुछ नया सीखा? क्योंकि आप, मैंने देखा है, डेनमार्क भी जाते हैं इनके साथ, पूरी दुनिया में ट्रैवल करते हैं, तो कोई नई चीज़ जो आपने ग्रैस्प की हो म्यूज़िक के हवाले से?
जी देखिए जी, काफ़ी कुछ सीखने को मिलता है जब आप एक दूसरे के साथ काम करते हैं। इनका बिल्कुल जो म्यूज़िक है हमारे म्यूज़िक से बहुत हटके है वो।
एग्जैक्टली।
वो भी अपने रंग में एक बहुत बड़ा काम है। तो जब हम उसको देखते हैं उसमें से भी काफ़ी चीज़ें आपको सुनने को मिलती हैं। उसका साउंड बड़ा डिफरेंट है उस म्यूज़िक का। हमारे यहाँ पाकिस्तान में बहुत अच्छे प्लेयर्स हैं गिटार के, लेकिन इनका जो बाज है जो ये बजाते हैं वो बिल्कुल ही डिफरेंट है। वो आपको किसी रिकॉर्डिंग में नहीं मिलेगा। वो जितने भी हमारे यहाँ पे मास्टर्स प्लेयर हैं, लेकिन वो बाज उनसे बजेगा नहीं जो ये बजा रहे होते। मैनी टाइम ऐसा होता है कि मैंने देखा है कि मैं यहाँ के जो मास्टर गिटार्स हैं उनका मैंने सुना है, तो ये लोग कहते हैं ये तो बहुत ओल्ड स्टाइल है, हम तो बजा चुके हैं। सुन ये इनको वो और लग रहा हो रहा, तो वो हमारे यहाँ पे न्यू है।
Exactly.
So ये चीज़ें हमें सीखने को मिलती हैं।
Exactly. Well, that's great, ladies and gentlemen. What Mr. Ejaz is trying to say over here is that, you know, the kind of music they play back in their hometown is very different from what we kind of listen to over here. So I think that this is a great opportunity for all of us to listen to the kind of music Mr. Ejaz is referring to. And I have a simple request. So from your second album, I love this track which is called Farida Tureya Tureya Ja, and it's phenomenal, and it gives you, it's like having a vibe of ecstasy as well. It's like being in a transition. So please, can we listen to that?
Yes.
Oh, that's great. Let's do that.
फरीदा टुरिया टुरिया जा, फरीदा मन विच वल ना पा, फरीदा टुरिया टुरिया जा, टुरिया टुरिया जा, टुरिया टुरिया जा, फरीदा टुरिया टुरिया जा, फरीदा मन विच वल ना पा, फरीदा टुरिया टुरिया जा। फरीदा सुत्तिया तू झाड़ू दे मसीह, उठ फरीदा सुत्तिया, फरीदा फरीदा उठ फरीदा सुत्तिया तू झाड़ू दे मसीह, उठ फरीदा सुत्तिया तू झाड़ू दे मसीह, तू सुत्ता रब जागदा तेरी डाटे नाल परी, फरीदा टुरिया टुरिया जा, फरीदा टुरिया टुरिया जा, फरीदा मन विच वल ना पा, फरीदा टुरिया टुरिया जा, टुरिया टुरिया जा, ओ टुरिया टुरिया जा, टुरिया जा टुरिया जा टुरिया जा टुरिया जा टुरिया जा टुरिया जा टुरिया टुरिया जा, ओ टुरिया टुरिया जा, फरीदा टुरिया टुरिया जा, फरीदा मन विच वल ना पा, फरीदा टुरिया टुरिया जा। उठ फरीदा सुत्तिया तू दुनिया वेखण जा, उठ फरीदा सुत्तिया, फरीदा उठ फरीदा सुत्तिया तू दुनिया वेखण ਵੇਖਣ ਜਾ ਤੂੰ ਸੁੱਤਾ ਰੱਬ ਜਾਗਦਾ ਤੂੰ ਸੁੱਤਾ ਉੱਠ ਫਰੀਦਾ ਸੁੱਤਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਵੇਖਣ ਜਾ ਉੱਠ ਫਰੀਦਾ ਸੁੱਤਿਆ ਉੱਠ ਫਰੀਦਾ ਸੁੱਤਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਵੇਖਣ ਜਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਏ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਵੀ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਆ ਜਾ ਫਰੀਦਾ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਜਾ ਫਰੀਦਾ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਜਾ ਫਰੀਦਾ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੱਲ ਨਾ ਪਾ ਫਰੀਦਾ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਜਾ ਉੱਠ ਫਰੀਦਾ ਸੁੱਤਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਵੇਖਣ ਜਾ ਉੱਠ ਫਰੀਦਾ ਸੁੱਤਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਵੇਖਣ ਜਾ ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਏ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਵੀ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਆ ਜਾ ਫਰੀਦਾ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਜਾ ਫਰੀਦਾ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਜਾ ਫਰੀਦਾ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੱਲ ਨਾ ਪਾ ਫਰੀਦਾ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਜਾ ਰੋਟੀ ਤੇਰੀ ਕਾਠ ਦੀ ਤੇ ਲੋਨੀ ਤੇਰੀ ਭੁੱਖ ਰੋਟੀ ਤੇਰੀ ਕਾਠ ਦੀ ਤੇ ਲੋਨੀ ਤੇਰੀ ਭੁੱਖ ਜਿੱਲਾ ਖਾਦੀਆਂ ਚੋਪੜੀਆਂ ਸੋਇਣ ਸਹਿਣਗੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਫਰੀਦਾ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਜਾ ਫਰੀਦਾ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਜਾ ਫਰੀਦਾ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੱਲ ਨਾ ਪਾ ਫਰੀਦਾ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਜਾ ਓ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਜਾ ਓ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਜਾ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਜਾ ਓ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਜਾ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਜਾ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਜਾ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਜਾ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਜਾ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਜਾ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਜਾ ਓ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਟੁਰਿਆ ਜਾ ਅੱਲਾ ਮੁਹੰਮਦ ਚਾਲੀਆਰ ਅੱਲਾ ਮੁਹੰਮਦ ਚਾਲੀਆਰ ਹਾਜੀ ਖਾਜਾ ਕੁਤੁਬ ਬਰੀ ਹੱਕ ਬਰੀ ਯਾ ਬਰੀ ਹੱਕ ਬਰੀ या वलीद हक वलीद या वलीद हक वलीद या वलीद अल्लाह मोहम्मद चारियार अल्लाह मोहम्मद चारियार हाजी ख्वाजा कुतुब बरीद हक वलीद या वलीद हक वलीद या वलीद हक वलीद या वलीद हक वलीद हक 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 वलीद या वलीद हक वलीद अल्लाह मोहम्मद जानियार अल्लाह मोहम्मद जानियार हाजी ख्वाजा कुतुब बरीद हक फरीद या बरीद हक फरीद या बरीद हक फरीद हक फरीद हक फरीद हक फरीद हक फरीद हक फरीद हक फरीद
Fantastic, phenomenal, superb are the words I'm going to use for their performance. Rock Qawali, ladies and gentlemen, for you guys only. We're going for a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're tuned into PTV World. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And yeah, before going towards the break, ladies and gentlemen, I got to listen to one of the favorite songs from Rock Qawali, and I love it the most as well, Farida Turiya Turiya Ja. What an ecstatic performance it was, and they are definitely one of the best performers I've ever seen when we talk about rock bands. And since it's a fusion of Qawali and rock music, I think that this is the newer way of presenting things to the newer generations, and I think that it's wonderful and it's fabulous that somebody's actually taken that initiative to make sure that the newer generations are actually acquainted with Qawali as well. But other than that, since we're very short of time, so what I wanted to do was I wanted to speak about your third album, which is set to come out next year probably. So who's going to speak about it? First question is that, and the second question is, how difficult is it or easy is it for you guys to understand the poetry because it's not in your native language? So Tin, let's get started with you.
Well, my background is Persian, so
Yeah.
I use the Persian poetry.
Okay.
And although I don't understand 100% what's been said, sometimes Ejazbhai is very gracious to try to indulge us in the meaning of the poetry.
Wow.
And sometimes I have to try to grasp that. But we definitely know it. There is a spiritual, meaning behind it. There's energy rising when we're playing it or laying down.
Exactly.
So
well, that's great.
what we
And ladies and gentlemen, to be honest, I believe that, whenever it's about music, it is really not about the language. I think if you get along with the music, I think you get along with the poetry too as well. But very quickly, what I wanted to ask was that, in your second album, we just heard Turya Turya Ja, Farida Turya Turya Ja. The music is definitely very rock. But in the third album, are you trying to change the music as well a little bit? Or is it going to be the same, but the poetry is going to be a little different? So Jonas?
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to expand more in researching into the classical music in Pakistan.
Wow.
And learning the rhythms and the tals, different
Yeah.
ragas. And it's just a long process. Since we started 7 years ago, it's just a long ongoing. You can go on forever. You can spend the rest. Once you get into music, you can spend the rest of your
Yeah.
life researching and going deeper. And we're just trying to really. It's not about two artists meeting and then doing the stuff in front of each other. It's about being part of each other's culture. It's about
It's great. It's great. And definitely music does bring cultures together as well. But do you think that you'll be able to justify classical music without playing classical instruments other than the harmonium?
For sure. I mean, basically, classical music was just singing.
Yeah.
So,
No, but sitar is one of the backbones of classical music as well.
but sitar came many thousand years later than.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not an expert, but
It's all
this
right.
is how it is.
I think
it started with singing, and
Yeah.
then came the instruments, and you can play on these instruments.
That's
you
great.
Can play on anything, and a tabla rhythm, Stephen can play on drums.
Yeah.
and
So can we have a little bit of rhythm, because we just wanted to get closer to tabla as well, because we are talking about classical music. So can we justify tabla with drum kit? A little bit, if you can do so.
Well,
Yeah. Wow, that's great, and it's fantastic as well. But Henrik, what about you? Because it's just 3 months that you've been a part of the band. How is it coming along for you?
I listen to a lot of world music.
Yeah.
So it's not that hard to fall into the whole thing.
Yeah. So it's great with you as well.
It's a great experience.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
तो एजाज भाई तीसरी एल्बम से हम क्या एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं?
बहुत अच्छा म्यूज़िक आया, बहुत अच्छे लिरिक्स। उसमें जो हमने मेरा एक सॉन्ग है, उसमें मुझे बहुत उस पोइट्री पे मुझे बहुत ना उम्मीदें लगी हुई हैं। उसमें हमने ना प्यार पोइट्री है पंजाबी में कि प्यार दा नगमा गाई जा,
प्यार दा नगमा
तो
गाई
सब नू सीने लाई जा,
हाय खूबसूरत
गोरे काले दी गल छड़ दे, नफरत वाले चाले छड़ दे।
वाह,
वो इस तरह का कुछ है। तो उसमें हम देखा कि सब कल्चर्स को हम जो बांटना चाह रहे हैं, जो हमारा मैसेज है ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड, कि हम पीस और लव का मैसेज पूरी दुनिया में देना चाहते हैं, कि ये कवाली तो यही मकसद है ना।
Exactly.
म्यूजिक तो यही काम कर रहा है।
Exactly.
उसमें पोइट्री का भी ऐसा है।
And that's great. And ladies and gentlemen, what Mr. Ejaz is actually telling us over here, that in the next album, people should actually look forward to this song, which is in Punjabi as well. And it's like, what is it like?
प्यार दा नगमा,
प्यार दा नगमा गाई जा, हर किसी नू सीने लाई जा.
सब नू सीने लाई।
Yeah, so it means that you please keep on singing the peaceful and lovable songs and make sure that you hug everybody while you're embarking on that journey. And I think that it's a great idea. And this is how music works globally too as well. But just one simple question. So, whenever we speak about music, whenever we do such kind of shows, what I actually wanted to ask was that, since he actually shared the lyrics of that song too as well. But what I wanted to ask was that how difficult or how easy it is for you to inculcate a poetry which is in other language. And does Ajaz help over there? Does Janis? Does he, you know, so how does it work? How do you arrange music then?
Well, in the start it was quite difficult for us.
Yeah.
Because Ijaz works with the poetry, the lyric.
Yep.
So in the Western music, we most of the time we work with like a 4-bar period or 8 or 16.
Different rhythms, yeah.
But Ijaz works in bars, of course, also. But it's more flowing, like, you know, he goes where he feels the lyrics should take him at that moment.
Yeah.
So it took us some years to learn to try to follow him exactly, you know.
Because that's how Qawali is, right?
Yeah.
So you improvise in between as well, and then, you know, you
Absolutely, you go between alap and
Yeah,
the lyric.
yeah.
And,
And it's good that I actually kind of heard this word from you, alap. Yeah, that's great, and I think everybody's doing a great job. But very quickly, before we move on towards one last song, I just wanted to ask, how has it been over here in Pakistan? Where did you guys go? And would you be playing in near future somewhere around? So please go ahead, share it with us. Anybody who wants to speak. एजाज भाई, आप हमें बता सकते हैं कि आगे अगर आप लोग कहीं कॉन्सर्ट्स प्ले कर रहे हैं ताकि जितने भी लोग जो हमें देख रहे हैं इस वक्त वो आ सकें आपके कॉन्सर्ट्स पर?
जी अभी तो हमारा अभी जो है प्लान कुछ हो रहे हैं, प्रोग्राम्स कुछ फाइनल हो रहे हैं, कुछ हो गए हैं, तो अब इंशाल्लाह जल्द पाकिस्तान में जो भी हमारी एक्टिविटी होगी हम उसको अपडेट करेंगे फेसबुक पे और हमारे सोशल मीडिया के जितने भी हमारे लिंक्स हैं उस पर हम बताएंगे आपको.
Well, that's great. So which is why, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm only left with one question, and it's the question of the millennium, and that is that everybody these days is releasing singles. Why have you guys opted to release an album? That's quite a lot of investment. Yeah.
Well, what we did is we recorded the whole record, and then we thought about taking out each song and releasing them as singles.
Yeah.
So that would be like a merge of both worlds.
Yeah. So that's great. So what they're doing is that they're kind of getting done with all the work, and then they kind of release it one by one. And I think that works too as well. But so what did you eat? Hendrik, what about you, since it's your first time?
We were at Monal at the mountain.
Yeah. Was it good?
Oof, it was very, very good. I took all the hike up there today, actually.
Wow.
At the trial tree.
That's great.
Yeah, it was great too. But the food up there.
Cheese naan, did you try cheese naan?
Oh, that was the very first we got up there.
Well, that's great. So what about you? What did you like the most being here in Pakistan?
Well, I'm a big fan of dal, actually. I love dal.
So you like dal?
That's actually my favorite dish in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, it is.
So do you cook dal when you're in Denmark?
Often, many times.
Wow, that's great. Tim, what about you?
Well, for starters, the dal has been like my main ingredients of food of eating the past month because we kind of try to be vegetable, you know, eat a lot of greenies.
Yeah.
But then the lamb last night was amazing. And the cheese naan was my first experience ever at Monal. I didn't know the cheese naan existed by that time. So.
That's great. Jonas, what about you? Since you have family over in Pindi as well, so you know you might not. A lot of cuisines over here in Pakistan.
I'm prepared for that question, and I don't disappoint you, but my favorite thing is the water from Kashmir.
Water from Kashmir? Well, that's good, and that's a very different choice as well. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we definitely have to wrap up the show as well, but what we're going to do is that I'm going to do all my wrapping up stuff, and then what they're going to do is that they're going to play a song towards the end. So please make sure that you write to us on our Facebook page, which is with the name of World This Morning. On Twitter, it's World This Morning without a G. On Dailymotion YouTube, it's World This Morning once again, and the repeat is going to be at 11 p.m. tonight. Till the next time, look after yourselves. Make sure that you follow Rock Qawali on every social media platform and let them know that you love their music. The studio is all yours.
प्यार दा नगमा गाई जा 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 तू सब नू सीने लाई जा प्यार दा नगमा गाई जा प्यार दा नगमा गाई जा गोरे काले दी गल छड्डने गोरे काले दी गल छड्डने नफरत वाले चाले छड्डने नफरत वाले चाले छड्डने सारे फर्क मिटाई जा प्यार दा नगमा गाई जा प्यार दा नगमा sagani sagama bali da da pa ba ga sa हर मजहब दिए हो जाने हर मजहब दिए हो जाने मेरा दीनी मान निशाने इक्को सबक पढ़ाई जा प्यार दा नगमा प्यार दा नगमा गाई जा प्यार दा नगमा गाई जा तू सब नू सीने लाई जा प्यार दा नगमा बंदे क्यों बंदे तो डरने बंदे क्यों बंदे तो डरने मशरक मगरब इकट्ठे करने फर्क न रखी राई दा प्यार दा नगमा प्यार दा नगमा गाई जा प्यार दा नगमा प्यार दा नगमा गाई जा प्यार दा नगमा गाई जा तू सब नू सीने लाई जा प्यार दा नगमा sagani da sagani da sagani da sagani da sagani da sagani da ga ma ba ma ga ma ba da ga pa ba ga da pa ni za ga re ga ma ba ga ma re ga sa re ni za ga ga ni za ga ni da ni pa pa ni za ga re sa pa ni za ga re